So, hi, I'm Craig, course manager at Edgbaston Golf Club. Been here for roughly over a year. Previous to this I was at South Staffordshire Golf Club in Wolverhampton. I've worked up at the Dukes in Scotland for 6 years, and previous to that Carden Park. I've worked many tournaments, been over to Dubai, America. Hopefully got a wealth of experience to manage a course correctly. So yeah, we're at Edgbaston Golf Club. We are roughly a mile from the city centre, so you wouldn't think you'd have all this surroundings, you know, that close to the city centre. The club was created in 1896, so this year is its 125th anniversary. 18-hole parkland golf course with obviously a big reservoir. So at the club we're running roughly a hectare of greens, a hectare of approaches, hectare of tees, just over 10 hectares of fairways, and plenty of rough along to go with that.
And what's it take to look after a golf course like this?
So currently we have 7 members of staff. We've got a Toro fleet comprising of probably 26 plus bits of kit. Through the summer period, generally we mow fairways 3 times a week, tees 3 times a week, approaches 3 times a week, greens you mow every day, roll every day. We'll change holes 2 to 3 times a week, divoting tees and approaches and fairways regularly, sometimes, you know, once, twice a week on the fairways. Bunkers are raked every day.
What can you tell me about the machines and processes that you do on the golf course?
So machines, the majority of it is cutting equipment, so that comprises of 3 greens mowers, hand greens mowers, 2 hand tees mowers, 3 greens triples, 1 fairway mower, rough mower, a semi-rough mower, a pan deck mower for your intermediate rough, a Toro Procore for your pedestrian aeration, so for greens and tees and all the sort of the areas that you can't get with a bigger machine. Greens wise, you're aerating once a month with solid tines, and twice a year we'll hollow core. Verti-drain in fairways we'll try and do sort of 2 to 3 times a year. That'll include approaches as well. And then tees we'll try and do a similar process to greens as well.
So what about fertilising and top dressing?
Great, so fertilising greens, we aim for between 80 and 100 kilograms of N per year. Fairways roughly 60, approaches and tees we aim for about 150, mainly because that's a more ryegrass dominant sward. Greens we aim for less because we're looking for playability rather than colour and stripes.
Okay.
So top dressing greens we're aiming for roughly 150 to 200 tonnes per year. Tees and approaches we aim for roughly 80 to 100, and then any sort of walk-offs and wet areas that may need it, it'll just be as and when.
What can a member expect when visiting the golf course?
So for us it's important that we deliver a top quality golf course for them to play on. That includes making sure everything's mown and set up correctly on a daily basis. We're also trying to convert it back to how it was previously with new bunkers, new Colt style bunkers, and we're trying to give the golf course a bit more of a natural feel as well. So we're introducing some roughs around the place.
And what's the biggest problem or challenge that you're facing at the moment as a golf course?
So for us, and I probably think many greenkeepers across the UK, it's, you know, the weather. I think well, that's one of the biggest things. You're going from sort of really dry cold springs to typically last year, you know, they didn't have any rain up until sort of June. And then this year it's been the opposite. We've just had nothing but rain for May. So I think it's trying to keep the golf course playable in these types of conditions.
How does the weather impact you, and how does it bring its challenges?
I think you've got to think, if you get lots of rain, it softens the surfaces up, so you've got to take into account your mowing heights, all that type of thing. This will bring in your aeration practices as well, making sure everything's draining, just keeping those surfaces open for the members to play on.
So what's the biggest tip you could give for a homeowner trying to get a lawn looking as nice as your golf club?
So I think many things really, not just one tip would be plenty of aeration, a good solid fertiliser programme, overseeding with the correct cultivars that will suit your lawn really, and plenty of mowing with sharp reels. Yes.